Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast, a podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. I hope everyone has been enjoying their week. It is a late Friday night. I do apologize, like always, getting the episode out late. But hopefully everyone's looking forward to the weekend. Very important match happening for Manchester United. Preseason U.S. tours kicking off. We have the first one in New Jersey starting tomorrow against West Ham. Also, talking transfer news. There's a lot of stuff to go on with transfer news. I also will be doing the preview for tomorrow's game. But yes, mostly today it's catching up on transfers, looking at tomorrow's match, as well as potentially what's going on for next week as well. So, I'm excited to get this one going. But before we go anywhere, don't forget to hit subscribe, whether it's on YouTube, Apple Podcast, or Spotify. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, feedback, anything to help me grow this channel to make it a good one, to say the least, or maybe a decent one. How about we go with that word for the day? But also social media as well, Instagram, X, and on TikTok too. But yes, two things covering today. One, transfers to West Ham. I think we'll start from the bottom, work our way up. We have our first match in the U.S. Tour, West Ham versus Manchester United in New Jersey. I do not want to close that window. I am in the middle of recording, and I almost closed the recording window that I used for tomorrow, or that I used for the podcast. Yes, we are going tomorrow with the U.S. Tour. Listen, last weekend was a draw, and I know many people were upset with the draw last week. A lot of things looking the same as they were last season. As I said before, I'm not going to lose sleep on preseason games. I'm not going to go in 180% into a game where I know it has single value. The only thing I'm going to take seriously with a game is, like, what I'm going to take seriously is basically, how are we improving? How is the squad looking? Are we seeing good things like growth happening? Because again, like, with not having European soccer, it does help the club understand what Ruben wants, build things, and you have the players there. So far, Manchester United got the two players that they wanted with Mbeumo and Cunha. That's the one thing I'm excited to see for tomorrow. If I'm going to look at the key points I'm going to be watching for the game tomorrow, one, the striker, whoever the starting striker is tomorrow, how are they going to build up with Mbeumo and Cunha? Because I'm expecting them to both start at the 10. They should both be starting. And I'm going to do my predictions in probably a couple minutes, my squad predictions. But yes, they're going to be at the 10. So Rasmus, Xerxes, Cheeto, one of those three, it will be exciting to see what's going to happen, who's going to be there. Or are we going to see a combination of rotational positions? Are we going to see Cunha at the 9, Ahmad, Mbeumo at the 10, Bruno's still there, Diego, Dorgu out on the wings? Are we going to see some creativity? But but that's the thing, right? You want to see what Mbeumo and Cunha are doing. As Manchester United fans, this is what we're looking forward to seeing. We're finally going to see the targets that Ruben's wanted, and now we have them. Let's see what they do. Again, it's our second game, but listen, it's going to take time tomorrow. Like, it's going to take time for us to build. And listen, the fitness needs to still get up. Players are there. So we need to see how things are going to go. So we don't know what's going to happen. Like, we don't. And you know what? I hope everything runs smoothly. But I'm excited to see the two signings tomorrow. And Mbeumo just came in this week. He came out with the squad to the U.S. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. that's what I'm looking forward to. And then it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So whoever the striker is, that's what I'm looking forward to see. Bruno, the midfield, that's what the one thing we have to look at. The midfield, who's going to be starting there? Are we going to see youth players starting in that mid? Are we going to see Ugarte back as a starter with Kobe Mainu? Are we going to see Mainu and Fernandes in the middle? Fernandes isn't being Bruno. So we're going to see Bruno and Kobe there. Could that potentially be the starting mid? The one thing I would like to see as well is Dorgu and Lyon starting at the same time, moving Dorgu to the right, having Diego Lyon on the left. That would be exciting to see. Chances are it's going to be Delo and Dorgu again. For all we know, we see Ahmad and Dorgu. It's going to be exciting to see how they're going to play the combinations. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to seeing this season, the potential lineup combinations for the squad. And I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to be liking it, but I think I'm going to like it. I'm going to like the creativity during this preseason to hopefully see how the squad plays out, and that's the exciting thing, to say the least. Yeah. But and also the goalie situation, it could be a mixture of all three or all of them that could be coming through. At least two of them, at least we'll see tomorrow. The back three, obviously Harry Maguire's not out on the trip, but we'll probably see Heaven, DeLitt, and let's say Euro probably start, or Maz. Leacha can't play yet. Fredrickson can be there as well. So we're going to see some combinations there of the back three. But if I were to do a squad prediction tomorrow, in my mind, it's going to be starting Hojlund at the front, Cunha, and Mbuemo. Cheeto started last week. Hopefully we'll see Xerxes get some time in, but I think that's going to be the front three. I like Diego Leon on the left. Ahmad's going to start out on the right wing back. And then our mid, I'm going to hopefully go with Kobe, and I'm hopefully going to go with Bruno. And then back three, Euro, DeLitt, and Aiden Heaven as your back three, and then Binder with a start. But you never know. You may go with May as well. He could get there, the Youth Academy goalkeeper. But I think that's going to be my starting 11 tomorrow. But again, it could be any combination. And I was watching some of the press conference, and someone was talking about different positions, and that's the one thing you can look at here. You can have Cunha start at the 9, but I think with the way things worked out last week, I think Hojlund will get the start. You'll see Cheeto and Xerxes come in. You may see is I don't know if we're going to see it yet. That's the rotation pieces of what you can do in an attack and how it's going to look at. Because one day you could have, let's say Hojlund or Xerxes or someone gets injured, and you need an important piece. And with the depth that we have at 10, it can help. So you have Mason Mount, Ahmad, Bruno, Mbuemo, Cunha, Xerxes, who can play the 9 and the 10. You have those players who can rotate, and you can see the attack because you have other players that can move up through the wingbacks. My dream start, realistically, here's one example that could happen tomorrow, and I don't think it will. If Xerxes ready to go, you can have Xerxes there, or let's say Cunha is at the 9, Ahmad and Mbuemo at the 10, Dorgu, Diego Leon at the wing backs. You have Bruno and Kobe in the middle, and the back three that I mentioned. That's a potential starting lineup. But I think realistically, if we were to go, let's say Arsenal is this week, hypothetically, you're looking at you're probably going to look at Xerxes starting, or you're probably going to look at Hojlund as the starter for opening day, with Mbuemo and Cunha at the 10s. Kobe and Bruno in the middle. The wingbacks should be Ahmad and Dorgu. Your back three should be Dalit, Yoro, and Mazraoui, but you may see Aiden Heaven make a case too. But the best part about Maz is he can play in the back three, and he also play on the wing back as well. Again, midfield is our depth piece that we need, but we go. But what am I expecting for this game tomorrow? I did mention who I'm looking to watch. Like the two players that are watching Cunha. But let's look at players that stood out. Listen, Euro has been great. I'm hopefully that we see some good things with Hojlund in this offseason, or so this preseason. Xerxes, I'm looking forward to seeing throughout the tour. Cheeto looked well, but Diego Leon, Dorgu, I would like to see them together on the field. That's what I want to look at. Nothing against Ahmad or Diego Dallo, but having Dorgu and Leon together on the same field with the same lineup, because Dorgu can play out on the right, Leon on the left. That would be exciting to see what they can do. The two youngsters, they are young players. Let's not jump to be like, oh my God, they're seasoned vets. Leon is only 18. Dorgu, I believe, is only 20. So they are youth players. So like it'll be exciting to see them in this offseason. This preseason, not offseason, this preseason on seeing the formations and how they can play out. That's the one thing I want to see. I want to see those two young guys see what they can do. Like the young players that we have here are the future to start. They're working on the academy, but seeing Cheeto, Heaven, Dorgu, Leon, it'll be great to see all four of them on the field at the same time. With the experience of Kobe in the middle, and then you have Cunha and Buemo there as well. It's kind of crazy that we can do a rotation. One thing that's great with the system that Ruben is, the attack rotation, as I was mentioned, can be creative. It can be. Let's not pretend that it couldn't. You can see some creations there, especially in certain games where you're going to need a lot of hold-up play, transitions, and movement. But again, like I mentioned, like keep Bruno in the middle, same with Kobe. But you can have Ahmad, Xerxes, yes, Mason Mount. You have Cunha and Buemo, so you have five guys there that you can rotate. Yeah, so Ahmad, Xerxes, Buemo, Cunha, Mason Mount as your five. Your strikers, you have Hojlund and Xerxes as well as Cheeto, and then you have Cunha who can sometimes play in the 9. So the hold-up play will be nice. I know Hojlund out of that bunch will be the one that will struggle with the hold-up play. But hopefully as the offseason goes and he understands what he needs to do, I think he'll get better in the system. But I think right now, the attack, the creativity, what they can do with this squad, I'm a little bit more optimistic of what they can do. Again, the middle is a lot of problem. A lot of people have talked about the middle. You have Ugarte, you have Collier, you have Casemiro, Bruno, Kobe, Kone. Kone is another youth player I like to see. So I forgot that. Hopefully we see a lot more of Kone on these next tours, because they've retracted the loan that they were going to send him on. They were going to send him to Switzerland, but the growth of Kone, potentially Leon, as well as Cheeto Obi, Heaven we know is going to get into the starting line. He's going to start some games. Fredrickson, you're going to see some impressive growth with youth. And that's what Ruben liked. That's what Ten Hag liked too. He did like the growth of trying to grow the academy, but the past is in the past. But with Ruben, having these youth, the young guys, building it up, you're going to see good things in the future. And it's going to take time, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it's the preseason. Don't go a full 180%, 200%, 1,000% into these games. These games are to learn, get into shape, get things right, learn what to do, learn what not to do. Because again, it's all going to be a lesson. We're all going to see things develop through that. And I'm not going in tomorrow expecting a 6-0 win. Like, don't get me wrong, it'd be great, but look at, like, I'm going to expect it like it was similar to the game last week against Leeds. You're going to have a different formation. I don't know if he's going to split it up, 11 in front, 11 in the back, so on and so forth. But you're going to see some teams or some games where you're going to have them hopefully starting the 11. Like I mentioned the last episode, with this preseason is the formations and everything going forward. We're going to see, him getting closer to what he wants as a starting 11. And I think tomorrow you're going to see a little combination, what could potentially be the future starting 11. And then Wednesday against Bournemouth, next Sunday against Everton, and then we have Fiorentina the week after. And then the week after that, we are balls rolling, ladies and gentlemen. We have our first match. But tomorrow, you're going to probably start seeing what he wants to resemble close to a starting 11. And it's hard to predict what could that be. I know everyone's going to be like, well, Mbeumo and Cunha should be at the 10s. You're not wrong. Ahmad should be going to right wing back. Dorgu should be your starting left wing back. The starting 9 could be, like I said, I would like Xerxes, but I think Hojlund's probably going to get there. Just a thought. I know, and I said in a past episode that Xerxes is probably going to be there, and I'm going to keep that there. But just something that I think may happen is, I think Hojlund may be there as well. But we'll see. But again, I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited what to see. Again, West Ham's going to put out their lineup, but mostly for us, if I'm starting again, because now I've already forgotten my lineup, chances are I'm going to contradict. And it's probably Hojlund, Cunha, and Mbeumo. Dorgu. Actually, no, Diego Leon starting. I'm going to see Dorgu on the left side. I'm going to see Diego Leon starts. I know I talked about what I wanted. But yeah, Hojlund, Mbeumo, Cunha. This is what everyone's probably going to do. And I completely forgot what I just mentioned. And I know it was like 5 minutes ago, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. Let's start from scratch. Tomorrow, because it's the preseason, it's the first one. Hojlund will start. You're going to see Cunha and Mbeumo start. That's going to be your starting 3. Dorgu is going to be on the left-hand side because Diego Leon got the start last week. You're going to see Ahmad on the right. You're going to see Kobe and Bruno in the middle. Then you're going to see, like I mentioned, chances are it would be, like for me, it would be Maz, Yoro, De Ligt. But I think tomorrow it's going to be Yoro, De Ligt, and Aiden Heaven. And then switching it up next, you'll probably see Cheeto come in. The reason why I'm just saying Hojlund starts tomorrow because Cheeto did get the start last week. Listen, Cheeto didn't do anything wrong. I just think just the way the preseason's going and everything, that's where we're going to go. And plus that 11 in the afternoon, or 11 in the second half, did play a little bit better offensively. In the second half, trying to get the scoring opportunities, but we couldn't capitalize. We couldn't hit a barn door if we were holding the door, putting it on the hinges. But that's what I'm hoping for here. And then Binder will probably start. I'm sure that contradicts everything that I said. And you know what? It is what it is. Again, preseason is going to predict. Every week's going to be different. But I would like I mentioned, I'm looking forward to see the combination of the 2 10s with whoever's the striker is. The youth like Cheeto, Diego, Kone, Aiden Heaven, and Dorgu, like Collier. I'd like to see those youth players get out more. A little bit more rotation potentially at the keeper, not just by Ender or Heaton, but I think I mentioned me as well, being out there. So we'll see what Ruben's got cooking. Diego Dello, you'll probably see there. Same with Maz. it will take some time to build and get things right, but I think by the time we see Everton and Fiorentina, you're going to see what the potential starting 11 of Manchester United will be going into that Arsenal match on the 17th. So, but yeah, looking forward to it tomorrow. It's going to be impressive. Either way, what we're going to see from the youth and what we're going to see with their new combination of players. So it's, we don't know yet, but it's going to take time, ladies and gentlemen. And as I mentioned a couple times already, do not go full in on a preseason match like this when we're just trying to get everything starting off correctly. So be patient. Things will start coming to us, but again, we can't go into this expecting, oh no, like let's say we lose tomorrow 3-0. Again, we can't expect that. If you're so serious about a preseason win and you're going all in now, my God, you're going to be a volcano come the second week of the Premier League already. Like, you're going to be melting down. Like, again, learning, just checking things out. That's basically what we're expecting tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. But yes, just don't go in with high expectations. I'm not saying just don't go with that. I'm not saying not go in with expectations. I'm just saying don't make the game bigger than what it should be. That's all I'm saying. But enough of that and the preseason and tomorrow. Let's move on to basically just catching up on transfer windows and our final segment. Okay. Every week or every episode, I always mention it's always a roller coaster with transfer windows. We never know. We don't. Listen, the goal is now a striker. Obviously, a couple of days ago, or last 24 hours, it was talks that Aston Villa was saying no to Manchester United for a loan for Martinez and then a purchase of Ollie Watkins. The loan has been declined. Ollie Watkins has been said no. Let's just forward to today. I hear no. I hear yes. I hear potential 60 million. I hear Manchester United's talking. I also heard Superman leaping over a tall building. I see pigs flying. Like, we're so just all over the place with this. And don't get me wrong, I would like Ollie Watkins. I would like to see what our attack can do. But we just don't know what's happening, and there could be talk. So Manchester Evening News was talking about it here. So Ollie Watkins is one transfer standout linked to the move to Ruben Amorim's side. Again, there's moments here where Ruben is going to be, no, not Ruben, Manchester United are going in. There's talks that he's not going to be allowed. But it's just the thing. They have moved on from Isak, which they were never really in there. Sesko is done, and Louise, which I don't think is happening, from Juventus. So we don't know what's happening there. So we're just waiting for there. So as of today, for Manchester United's 3 short list, this is according to the Manchester Evening News through ESPN, who reported it. Ollie Watkins, which I just mentioned, Randall Kolo Muani, and then Lokovic. So are the 3 names. Obviously, Lokovic was in talks with a switch involving Jadon Sancho, but obviously with cash and PSR, that's probably not going to happen. What's going to happen with our current strikers? There's talks where Hojlund wants to stay. 24 hours later, there's talks where Hojlund may want to go if not needed, or if he finds a better option. Again, you hear reports from one place, hear reports from another. It's, but Fabrizio Romano said Hojlund is not set to go. He wants to stay and fight for his spots. So we'll see that there. but we don't know. I would love it. Like, I shouldn't say I would love a new striker. I would like an experienced striker to help out our youth, especially with Cheeto, especially with Rasmus and Xerxes. But Xerxes, the benefit of Xerxes is you can throw him in, and his hold up play could work out well with moving into this. So we'll see. Again, going back to what my last segment, I would love to see Xerxes on how he plays with this too. So hopefully tomorrow you see a lot of Xerxes as well. But hearsay or there. But yes, Isak off the table. Oshiman gone to Galatasaray. Ekatike is now with Liverpool. And then Isak is costing too much money, so we'll see what goes on. Again, a lot is happening. All those targets that were talked about last week are now gone or off the table. Isak was never on the table just because of the cost for him. So, but Sesko, Ekatike, gone. Ollie Watkins was off, now on, now off, and then I don't know. Martinez might still be in the books, but they're looking at, I believe it was Lamen. I may have screwed that up. Lamen. Mentioned him on the last episode of a potential keeper. I may have misspoken about his position. Obviously, keeper. I may have mentioned the midfield last episode, so I do apologize. Correcting my errors. Saudi as well has been coming into the news linked to Manchester United. 2 reports are saying Anthony, who I know is holding up for Real Betis, but Betis is hoping for a loan. Rumor is that Anthony is willing to move to Saudi and take up a contract. Luke Shaw is now contemplating his career at Manchester United. It looks like he is looking at potentially moving to Saudi as well and taking on a contract and playing in there. Those are 2 reports that have come out in the last 24 hours. Listen, Luke Shaw is a good player. Luke Shaw is a good player. Let's not. I know the injuries and everything, and obviously everything that went off the field, the England squad, yes. But is he going to be cut out for what we need him to do now with Manchester United? I think it's time to go. And also with the pieces of the back 3. He doesn't really fit with the back 3. He doesn't fit out on the wing back, especially with when you look at what Maz can do. Like, Maz can play the wing. You have Dorgu. You have Diego Leon, who I think that's the reason why you're seeing Shaw now contemplating with the breakthrough of Diego Leon. Ahmad, who can play on the wing as well. So we're seeing those pieces there, like who can overtake. And then the back, your center backs, you have Harry Maguire, who didn't make the trip. But again, let's just count Maz as a wing back. So Maz, Delo, Dorgu, Leon, and then you have Ahmad as your wing backs. Your center backs, you have Heaven, Euro, Delit, Maguire, Fredrickson. Licha is going to be coming back in December. He's training. You have other pieces as well. So Shaw's got a battle to get in there as too. So we have to see how things go. So we don't know. We don't. And they're looking at another center back, possibly to replace Shaw, because again, concerns fit. He's got to be more in shape. And then, again, the wing backs, he has to battle with that. Dorgu, Delo, or even Ahmad is going to be one of the 3 that's starting. And then you have, and I don't know how he's going to see himself breaking through when Euro, Maz, Delit, Maguire, Heaven, those guys are all going to be rotating through. You may see Shaw on an occasional domestic games, like a Carbo Cup or an FA Cup. But I think with everything, it's tough. It really is. It really is tough to see what's going to happen here. So, it's hard to say. Listen, it would be great if Saudi could sign and take on those deals, give us some decent contracts or decent transfer fees to help with our books. It would be. So we'll see if they can meet the valuation of those two players, if Manchester United is willing to go. But I think it's time to move on, potentially, for Shaw. I know we're waiting to see what happens with Antony, but so, and then if we have Antony gone, if Shaw is able to move on, then you have Garnacho, Sancho, still there. Malacia is even rumored to take a Saudi deal too. So we have 3 United players who could be taking Saudi deals going on. So again, I know everyone's like, oh yeah, 100 million each. No, like we're probably going to get anywhere between 20, I'd say 15 to 45 million each player. Like we're probably going to get around close to 40 for Antony. 45 is just optimistic. Malacia is probably going to be around 15 to 20. Luke Shaw, probably the same as Malacia. So we'll see. It's it's all about the books, and if we can somehow squeeze out 80 million from those 3, that'd be great. Sancho, Garnacho, if we can get out 65 between the 2 of them, you get cool 140, and that can help rebuild and get some decent players if we can get through the transfer window. If not, keep that and explore in January. Get some players in January, see how the squad is, if there needs to be a repair. 140 can do a lot. That's a lot of players. And if we can get some players off the book, listen, having Rashford off the book with his transfer and his lower rate, lower salary, and the one thing I heard too is if he's coming back, that's his salary permanently. So we're shaving off funds. But if we can get rid of, I think it's 250K, like if you can get rid of that and bring in 2 players at 100,000 a week, some depth players, we can do some things. We can build the squad. That's all it is. Build the squad. I won't say anything about ownership today. Let's leave that off the board. But yeah, transfers, signings. Like, listen, Watkins is my top target. We'll see if they don't, and I don't think Villa's going to budge. I think we just keep the 3 that we have. Like I mentioned, when we talk about the preseason, the rotation of the attack, that's what's going to intrigue me, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hold off there. That's the important thing here. If we don't go with the striker, I know people are like, oh no, he may not go with a 9. We have 3 9s, ladies and gentlemen. We do. We have also a player that can play in a 9 in a rotational attack. We have players there. So, like, I know Ruben wants his striker. I know Gyökeres is now with Arsenal. We'll be seeing him on the 17th. But it's just a matter of getting everything there. And yes, I would like a striker. I would like a striker with experience, but Hojlund has scored goals in the Prem. Hojlund had a horrific season last year. Like I mentioned last episode and probably the episode before, this preseason is crucial for me, in my opinion, of Rasmus Hojlund. 1, his first 2 seasons, he has never completed a preseason. Came in the transfer window late, had a back issue where he couldn't do the preseason, didn't debut until October. Last year, played, I believe, 1 preseason game. He scored. Then literally 47 seconds later, pulled his hamstring. He was out until at least October. So we have that going on. Having him healthy, seeing him slim down, and I might be repeating myself, having him slim down helps reduce the injuries, but having him understand the system does help. 2, getting in full games, conditioning, football fit is crucial. It is crucial what needs to be done. So, Hojlund, great. Having him there. Xerxes, fit. Having him fit there. And then Cheeto Obi is going to watch and learn. And having Mbuemo and Cunha, having him there helps. It does. Like I mentioned, having again, we have experienced goal scorers. So guess what they're going to communicate with the striker? Well, when I'm doing this transition, this hold-up play, I want you here. When we're doing this move, I want you here to cut through here if we see this opening. They're going to tell the striker where they need them to be, not where the striker wants to be, where the 10s want them to be. And I think that's where the communication always failed. When you had Bruno, Delot, you had Bruno and Delot taking on themselves, not worrying about the striker trying to play. They're trying to take their shots and be the heroes. With Cunha and Mbeumo, they can score, but the key is the assists and also telling them where to go. That's the important thing. Garnacho failed at that. Rashford definitely failed at that. Like, we have to see this develop. Xerxes, you can put him at the 10. That's why I'm excited to see what Xerxes and Mbeumo and Cunha can do together because of the way they can hold it up. Xerxes can move the ball, he can run with it, and just making those passes tight through and seeing them score, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. So, could we use another 9 with experience? Yes. Am I still okay with the 9s that we have? Yes. Because we have to see what they can do and be creative with that stuff. We do. Because, again, when you're watching it here, communication, and the players that were there last year, the communications, the passing, the attitude wasn't there for the system. So there were compromises. There were problems. I shouldn't say compromises. There were problems. So that's what I'm looking at here. So I think when I do my Twitter post, I think I may mention and throw out something about Hojlund. So, yeah. But that's, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'll let you think what that is. But yeah, I think with Rasmus and everything, I think we need to give it time and just give him that extra year and see how he does in this preseason. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there for the episode. I hope you do enjoy it. But yes, tomorrow, West Ham, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where I am in North America. Depending on where you are in the world, definitely looking at midnight and later on. If you're out on the West Coast, you're getting a nice little, what's the early bird special? You can have an early bird dinner watching some football. Why not? And just watch some good old fashioned Manchester United versus West Ham. So, but don't forget to hit subscribe, follow, feedback as well. Again, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast, and TikTok, X, Instagram. Do follow as well. So, again, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, I'll be back. I'll aim for Sunday for the episode. I don't know if I'll get around to doing it tomorrow night, just due to I can try and do tomorrow night. Just because the game ends for me around 9. I'll try to aim for tomorrow night to be back. Obviously, it's the weekend for me, so I should have the time to do it. So we'll aim for that. We'll aim for tomorrow night after the match. Recap it, what I liked as well. So if for the United fans that are traveling down to the game, be safe, get there safe, enjoy it. And those that are all going on tour, watching it, have fun. I'm jealous that you're going to be there, but enjoy it. But enjoy your remaining Friday night. Enjoy the start of your weekend as well. Enjoy the match tomorrow too. I'll be back again late tomorrow night as well. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.